London School of Economics Vice Chancellor Larry Kramer has said that the college is eager to increase the number of Indian students that enroll. Speaking to CNBC-TV18's Parikshit Luthra, Kramer also said that LSE is also eager to engage with Indian universities.
So the really striking thing that I've found since I've been here is first the ambition that the country has, both with respect to economic growth and education. I had a wonderful meeting with the finance minister the other day, and she sketched out the plans for me. To meet them, yes, India has to greatly expand the availability of higher education to students across the country. We've seen in almost every other country in the world, as it develops, that access to higher education produces a workforce that fuels economic growth all the way up and down the spectrum. So, to meet a goal of 8% growth per year for many years in a row, which is ambitious, I should say, by any measure in any country at any time, the country is going to need essentially to continue and speed up the plans that it has started underway. We can do that by partnerships that we're already engaged in and eager to engage in with other Indian universities, and to get as many Indian students as we can into the LSE system. And I think all of my fellow vice chancellors in the United Kingdom share that ambition.
LSE gets students from all around the world. Could you give us a sense of what's the kind of growth that you've seen in Indian students coming across different segments, and what is the kind of growth numbers that you expect in the coming years?
India is, for the LSE, our third largest population, and a very, very important one. We saw significant growth during COVID, interestingly, and then it dropped some after COVID and is now building again. We're eager to increase the number of Indian students that we have. To be honest, they're fantastic students. They're well educated when they come. They share the core values of democracy and intellectual learning, and they intermix with our other students. So part of what makes LSE so special is it's a global university with students from typically 150 countries or so in every class. It's hard to know exactly what the growth is going to be. I mean, that very much depends on the students at this side, but at the LSE, we're eager to increase those numbers. And one of the reasons I'm here is to speak to counselors and professors and other people in order to increase not just our visibility, but people's sense that it's worth applying, because there's a chance to get in and you'll get a fantastic education.
Right. At this moment, Professor Kramer, India and UK are discussing a free trade agreement. Having greater mobility of students, of professionals, will also be a part of the FTA talks. How do you think a trade agreement between India and UK could foster closer education ties? What do you think that could unleash?
Well, anything that connects the two countries more closely and increases the interactions between them is going to be beneficial in terms of encouraging students to come to the UK and encouraging UK students to come to India, because exchanges both ways, I think, are going to be beneficial for both countries. So I think everything that we can do to increase the interaction. I mean, India is very much going to be central to the future growth of the world at large. We recognize that in the UK. We recognize that at LSE. It's one of the reasons that we're so interested in strengthening our ties. I should say, ties between LSE in particular and India go back to the very beginning of the school. It's really been one of our deepest partnerships. Someone who wrote a history of the LSE once described the relationship between India and the LSE as a story of soulmates. And I think that remains true today, and it's that we want to build on and strengthen for the benefit of people in both countries.
Right. Currently, there is, of course, a lot of flux in the global order, Professor Kramer. Where do you see India's position in the current volatile global environment?
Well, it's hard to say. I mean, I think anybody who tells you they know the answer to that has got to be just making things up. So I think what you can say with some confidence is India is uniquely positioned in the global order no matter what direction it goes. The size of the population, the energy and entrepreneurial spirit that runs through the country. It's been one of the really striking things on this visit for me is to see just how much energy there is and the ambitions of not just the government, but of the people here. So that will play out, I think, well, no matter where the global order goes. The government certainly will have challenges, as every government will, in figuring out how things are going to settle out in this new order. But it's hard to think of a country better positioned than India to succeed.
And with that, it's a wrap on this edition of News Center. More news and updates will continue right here.